Hey everyone, today I want to talk about something that is really dear to me, and it actually happens to be one of my personal values. It is compassion. And it might be a word that we hear a lot, a word that is often used as a synonym for empathy. And for me, it is important because in my business, in my coaching, I'm helping entrepreneurs and people leaders. Everyone wants balance, so they want balance in their life and they want bank, they want to be successful. And the way that I go about helping them get there is by increasing their confidence, their clarity, and their compassion. And today, my focus on compassion is actually not the compassion that we show to others. Of course, that is super important. It's something that we have to be able to express if we want to truly engage and connect with our audiences. Today, though, I want to focus on compassion with ourselves. And why is that a topic that I think is actually important? And it is so important that I usually focus on self-compassion before looking at showing compassion to others. Because compassion is something, if you don't learn how to show it to yourself, how can you then show it to others? It's sort of almost that basic for me. Now, let's just first look at what is compassion. So as I said, it's a synonym for empathy. It's often used as a synonym for empathy. So the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, the ability to truly understand and be sensitive to what someone else is feeling. And why that can be so complicated when trying to show self-compassion is because you're already in that person's shoes. You're in your own shoes. So it's your thoughts, your emotions, feelings, they're all muddled up. And sometimes showing compassion to yourself is not always that easy because you have these other thoughts and feelings running around about your own self. The goal really with ourselves is to have a degree of compassionate objectivity. Now, I hope I'm not going to lose you just yet. What is that? In a nutshell, it's about having a certain degree of sensitivity and understanding of ourselves so that we can make the necessary changes in our behaviors, in our thinking, in our processes, so that we can achieve our goals. So this is what it's about. And what I'm going to do in this particular video is give you 5 things you can start doing from today to increase your self-compassion. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so the absolute first thing that I want you to do is start meditating. Now, I'm sure that's probably not what you thought I would say right now, but believe me, it is one of the most powerful things that you can do for your mind. So let's think about it. If we're thinking and talking about self-compassion, it's all about yourself and what's happening in here. And if we want to get stronger and more focused about what's happening up in here, well, we need to strengthen what's in here. And what's in there is your brain. And if you think about it, I know a lot of you probably pay attention to your physical health. And so you're focused on your nutrition and your exercise, which are very important things. But a lot of us forget that really what is running all of this is the brain. That's our computer, our supercomputer. And we need to strengthen and exercise the brain. And one of the best ways to do that is through meditation. And I'm telling you from experience, I was one of those people who was, for many years, I really resisted trying out meditation because I was just like, that is just not for me. I'm not so sure about this slowing down. And I thought meditation was about just chanting and things like that. And then when I found a form of meditation that worked for me, it was like fireworks going off. And, don't take my word for it. I just read a study done by Harvard where they had participants in a study for 8 weeks, and they took MRI scans of their brains before and after. And the science shows that even within an 8-week period, there was increased activity in the parts of the brain that are dedicated to learning, to memory, to self-awareness, and to compassion. This is actually scientifically documented. So what it does really, I think one of the huge benefits is really teaching you how to slow down, how to be present, how, especially if you are someone who has a lot of negative self-chatter, a lot of self-talk, negative self-talk going on. Meditation is really going to teach you how to slow down, pause, and minimize that chatter. And that is something that is really important in the next 4 steps that I'm going to share with you. Quick tip on meditation. You don't have to worry about spending a lot of money. I actually think some of the best meditation help or guides out there are right there on YouTube, totally free. What I will say is try out different types. The type of meditation that might work for me might not work for you, and that's okay, right? So try out different types, and there are many different actually types of meditation. I'd also say try it out at different times. Once again, you might hear a lot of people telling you it's best to meditate early in the morning, and you know what, again, that might be great for some people. It might not be great for everybody. For example, that's not my best time to meditate. So try out different types of meditation and try it out at different times in the day. Okay, let's move on to step number 2 of how you can increase your self-compassion. Okay, so step number 2. Right after this video, I would like you to unfollow anyone on social media, on any of your social media accounts. Unfollow anyone who does not inspire you or who does not positively challenge you to do better. You know, it's totally okay. We're following a lot of people out there, and I know this for a fact, and I know this because my clients tell me this. They're following all these people, but it leaves them feeling it leaves them feeling frustrated, it leaves them feeling that they're failing, it leaves them feeling like they're not doing that great, that they're not ever going to achieve their goals, that their business will never do as well as XYZ, that why can't they do the things that XYZ is doing. In other words, they're following people, but it's not leaving them in a good place. And my one-to-one coaching clients will know this. I actually tell them, until you are in a place where your confidence is up and your clarity is up, I absolutely want you to unfollow these people, or at least mute them. You can mute them for like, I think 30 days in Instagram. You can mute them in Facebook indefinitely. You have those options. Until you're in a place where you are looking at other people and it's leaving you with a feeling like, I'm pumped up by seeing what I'm seeing. Oh wow, I can't believe that XYZ is doing that. I want to try that. If you're not feeling that way, you're not yet in a place where you are working from a place of confidence, clarity, or self-compassion. And we need to be in that place, because if not, we all know this, that the comparison on social media can leave us in a really negative place. So that is something that I absolutely want you to do. And you know what? Don't feel bad about it. It doesn't mean that you have to unfollow them forever. It's happened to me. I'm transparent with you all, that there's some people I've just unfollowed, and there's some people that I mute from time to time. Anytime I'm aware that the self-talk, that their images or what they're doing, it's not giving me, it's not really inspiring me, it's not enlightening me, it's just nothing positive. So that's the second thing I want you to do today. Step number 3. So a few weeks ago, I did a video that comparison is healthy. And I know that step number 2, you're probably thinking, but you just said it. I didn't say comparison is not healthy. I said the thoughts and feelings that can occur when we compare could be a negative thing. But comparison is a healthy thing. And I do encourage it in my clients. You have to compare your performance. You absolutely have to be able to compare your performance from a point A to point B. You have to compare your business performance. So comparison can be a healthy thing. What we have to try to do is to really try to become more aware of my thoughts and feelings when I'm comparing. So this is where the slowing down really helps, the ability to be in the moment and to become aware, what am I actually thinking or feeling when I am comparing? What is not okay is when I am comparing and those thoughts lead me down a road of rumination or negative self-chatter, which really is one of the greatest forms of self-sabotage. And there are different types. It can be self-doubt, it can be imposter syndrome. They're just all forms of self-sabotage at their highest. And what I need you to do is, as you become more self-aware, when you are comparing, is really try to think about what am I actually saying about myself to myself. So it's almost like it's almost as if when you are comparing yourself to someone else, or you're comparing your own data, let's say you're looking at your performance in a particular area, right, between point time A and time B, really looking almost at yourself doing that activity and what is she thinking or feeling? What? Because what is not okay is when the thoughts or feelings that you have when you're doing that comparison or analysis, when those thoughts or feelings are bringing you down, or the thoughts or feelings of failure or of inadequacy. So just to recap, step number 3 is all about slowing down when you're comparing and becoming more aware of your thoughts when comparing and analyzing. Okay, step number 4 tags right onto step number 3. They almost happen like this, or at least I want to get you to a place where they're happening like this. So step number 3 was slowing down when we're comparing and being aware of our thoughts and feelings when comparing. Step number 4 is then to start to think about really objectively what worked, what didn't work, what did I like, what didn't I like in terms of your performance or what you did. So what did I do well? What didn't I do well? And I want you to always think of both. And even if it is that you have to do a list. So let's say if you did a presentation, it's so easy. I know this, I see this all the time. People, they do a presentation, and when they're analyzing, they can give me a list like this of things that they did not do well. And then I'm like, okay, so what did you do well? And it's really hard for them to come up with that list because we've almost taught ourselves to just engage in negative self-talk or just negative criticism. So I'm forcing you. I know you would have done a lot of good in any action. Can you list that out for me? So again, it's putting yourself almost in a meta way, looking at yourself. So I'm comparing my performance in a particular area. What did I do well? What didn't I do well? What might I change next time? What might I not change next time? So, okay, step number 5, to increase your self-compassion, I would like you to make a list of the things that you are absolutely amazing at. So the things that you are great at, that you're known for, your biggest accomplishments in business and in life, your biggest accomplishments and wins in the past 12 months. We need to look at what we are actually good at. It's so easy to get bogged down by what we are not good at, that we forget the things that we are known for, the things that we're recognized for, our accomplishments. And I want that you have that list handy and ready. It's important that we pat ourselves on the back. If we want to be really compassionate with ourselves and with others, this is a great start. And there are so many people I work with, when they have to do this, you'd be surprised. This is much harder than they think, or that they thought it would have been. It's much harder than they thought it would have been. And a lot of people have issues with actually talking about what they're good at, their strengths. And here's a tip that I give to everyone. It's not boasting if it's the truth. So if it is the truth, you've done something. So for example, in my case, I've personally trained and coached over 2,000 people. I'm proud to say it. I've paid my dues, I've put in my time. It's something that I'm absolutely proud of. It made me an expert and experienced as a trainer and a coach. And there are days when, I don't have the best session or the best course or class, and I remind myself that, Leah, you've reached this far, you are capable of doing this, instead of getting bogged down. So that's my step number 5 for your list. Have that handy. So I just want to end on saying that self-compassion is not about giving yourself leeway to not do your best or not be great. It's not about saying, oh well, it's okay, there's always tomorrow. No, it is about definitely pushing yourself, but it is about pushing yourself from a place of understanding, from a place of sensitivity, and from a place of knowing your strengths and limits at a point in time. So it is still about trying to say and do our best, but it is doing it from a place that is not of guilt or of just of negativity, but from a place of understanding, and again from a place of compassion. Okay, so if you tried any of these 5 steps, or if you tried all, please let me know how it goes in the comments below. I always enjoy hearing from you.